90.7 WNCU member-supported radio. Good afternoon. As the Eagle Soars is what you just heard. That was Ira Wiggins on his album When Freedom Swings. And welcome to WNCU Cares Artist Series. Starting at 1, ending at 3. We're taking over Jazz Stage for this Friday. And I hope that you are enjoying this hot summer's day. And I hope you're enjoying the hot jazz that's happening right now. And in the station, I have in front of me, I'm so excited, my mentor, my former professor, Dr. Ira Wiggins. And I feel kind of weird calling you Ira Wiggins. Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing fine.
Oh, my goodness. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
It's what, been forever?
Not been that long.
I still owe you a sandwich.
That's true.
Maybe we can have one after this conversation.
Yeah, maybe going up to 2 sandwiches now.
2 sandwiches? Oh, man. What, vegetarian sandwich and
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Well, let me let everybody know exactly why I'm so excited. Well, Ira Wiggins, Dr. Wiggins, Director of Jazz Studies at North Carolina Central University, holds the PhD in Music Education from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and he received his Master's of Music and Performance in Virginia Commonwealth University and the Bachelor of Arts in Music Education. I know we say all of that from North Carolina Central University. It's like, why? Well, he's a great person. He's traveled the world. He's taken his students. He's an educator. He is an entertainer in the jazz idiom and classical idiom as well. And I just want to talk to you about you in your life. So I guess kind of where did it all start?
Well, it basically started in Kinston, North Carolina. Well, actually, a town outside of Kinston called Grifton.
Mm-hmm.
And my brothers had a band. My father was the manager of the band.
Mm-hmm.
And so they used to rehearse on the porch. We lived out in the country. It was like a farm community. We were sharecroppers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they had this band, and every week, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, they would practice on the porch. Mm. So I was about 5 or 6, so I would go out there and just sit around and watch.
Okay.
So one night, the guitar player left his instrument when they went on a gig. And so I picked it up and started playing what I saw them do, imitating. And my mother, she didn't say put it down, so I kept on. I kept on playing. So that was the beginning of it.
What kind of style of music?
It was mostly rhythm and blues at the time.
Okay.
The group was called the Red Toppers.
Toppers.
And my father was the manager.
Did y'all gig all over the place, like in Kinston, or did you go outside?
Yeah, they gigged all over the state.
And so you were 5 at the time, so that means that you grew with them. And so when did you start gigging with them and actually getting paid, or?
When I was 16, I had my first gig with my brother Robert in LaGrange, North Carolina.
And he plays drums.
He was a drummer.
Yeah.
And the other brother Marvin, he played the saxophone.
And so that just started your world of saying, okay, this is something I want to do for a lifetime.
Right. I remember we got paid $30. So I asked my brother, I said, is all of this mine?
Right.
We worked the whole week on the farm, and you may not make $30.
Oh, understood. Yeah, I guess $30 in during those times, that's a lot. I mean, to a 16-year-old, you know how much we can do with $30. Well, I am enjoying this so far. So when was it do you recall writing your first song? Or no, it escapes you?
Yeah, it's been a while, but we recorded with my brother's group called the Uptighters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they got these names from.
Red Toppers, Uptighters.
But it was 1972. I was in I think I was a sophomore in high school, and we recorded the first 45.
Okay.
At that time, yeah.
45. You play that actually on it. So what is it played on? You got to take me back because I'm a young one, a record player.
Record player.
You're like, look, no, do your homework. Oh, nice. Okay, well, I want to get more into the music. Okay. It's about us getting out the way and seeing what you're about. Okay. Well, we heard As the Eagle Soars from your album When Freedom Swings. Now let's listen to another one. This is from your album as well, and this is the Shepherd Song. You were listening to 90.7 WNCU, member-supported radio. The Rolling Hills of Verdant Green, Shepherd Song, Dr. Ira Wiggins. That's his composition. And you're listening to 90.7 WNCU, and I enjoyed listening to that. That was an ode to
Dr. James A. Shepherd, the founder of North Carolina Central University, my alma mater.
Yes. So what was the thought process when you started writing this song?
Well, I was just thinking about how if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for Dr. Shepherd.
Yeah, because he paved the way.
He paved the
way. For everybody that we...
And so education was hard to come by during those times. Mm-hmm. He made it possible for so many hundreds of thousands of persons to get opportunities that we may not have gotten other places. Mm-hmm. And also it was part tribute to my mother also because Lydia Mae Wiggins, because she had some of those same ideas about education. Mm-hmm. And she used to tell me that she used to she couldn't get an education when she was coming up. I think she stopped about the third grade.
Oh, wow.
And she always used to remind me that she said, I wish I had a chance to go to school like y'all did. So tying both of those things together, I decided to come up with this to pay tribute to her and also NCCU, as well as the first one, As the Eagle Soars. Yeah. It was about, just, I guess they call it Eagle Pride.
Yes.
Or we call it Eagle Pride.
We do. Yeah, we hold up the hands, too.
Right. So it's all about, giving back to the place that gave so much to me.
Yes. Now, you could have written it, I guess, as a Latin, a samba, or high tempo swing, but you chose a ballad.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you get a chance to reflect in all of the melody, all the different timbres in terms of the vibraphone, the piano solos, and it gives you plenty of room to just contemplate and think about things while you're listening to it.
You have a really sweet sound, and it sounds like Stanley Turrentine when I hear it from time to time, but I know it dates farther than that. Who were some of your influences?
Well, Turrentine definitely was one of them. Gene Ammons, Sonny Rollins, Sonny Stitt, but before that, probably people like King Curtis and Junior Walker, because that was on the radio when I was coming up.
Yeah. The popular music of the day.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, well, I know personally I learned from you, and I learned a lot, and you mean business. I learned that very fast when I came here, so I'm happy that you are holding down the fort. Well, I want to play some more music from your album. No, actually, Yeah, I do want to play some music from your album. I want to get to, I mean, you just have so much music out there. You have your When Freedom Swings, and you also have a lot of albums from North Carolina Central Jazz Ensemble. Right. And so I think that we'll go to the North Carolina Central Jazz Ensemble.
Sure. Okay.
Let's go with Beautiful Love.
Sounds good.
All right, go for it. Beautiful Love, 90.7 WNCU, a Victor Young composition with some of my friends taking solos on this, but this was directed by Dr. Ira Wiggins, which is a part of the WNCU Cares Artist Series today. And before I get to him, I just wanted to let you know that on Beautiful Love, you heard on piano Austin Johnson, Cameron Morgan on alto sax, Nicholas Payton on bass, and Clifton Wallace on drums. Wow, mighty fine musicians. You must have drilled us. I know you did. I'm not even going to play around. You drilled us.
No, it was fun and games.
Fun and games? Yeah, right. With a serious undertone. We did not. I mean, we came to the class with a focus because you expected nothing less than that. And would kick us out if we know. Okay, no, he would not kick us out. Not even. Sometimes? Okay, all right. Sounds good. Beautiful Love. So the name of the game for you is swing. That's where it is. Swing and everything.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I appreciate other types of substyles also, but I guess musicality, play with feel, play from your heart.
Yes.
You know, tell a story and make it feel good.
Make it feel good. That's what jazz. Right. That's what it does. When did you? So you came up as an R&B pop sensation. No,
right.
Okay, that's what you wanted to do. But then when did jazz kind of like the jazz bug kind of bite you?
When I came to Central, that's when I started listening to people like Charlie Parker and Sonny Stitt. And
you didn't run away when you heard their music?
I wanted to.
I know
kind
I
of
did.
boy Adderley.
Yeah.
But it's kind of ironic. My father died when I was 7. My brother that plays the drum, he told me when I was 17, he said, yeah, Daddy used to talk about Sonny Stitt. So I said, well, there's no such person as Sonny Stitt. You mean Sonny Rollins. He said, no, Daddy said Sonny Stitt. So I went to a record store one day. I saw a Sonny Stitt album. Okay, so that means you know more than you think you know. So I put the album on, and I wound up doing my thesis and master's on Sonny Stitt because it was just the way he played. It was fulfilling, technical, musical, and so he was one of my first inspirations. And then I went on to other folks from him, but that's when I realized what I was missing.
The notes that you can't hear.
Exactly.
Wow.
And the phrases and everything else. Yeah. But I always wondered, I said, well, my father being a sharecropper, how did he find out about Sonny Stitt? There were no, you know, the radio stations didn't play it, but somehow he knew about it.
I guess it's
about him.
Who you know, huh?
Yeah, and so he was, even when he was still not with us, he had a way of communicating through my brothers.
Oh, man.
About.
Are you getting deep on us?
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Yeah, well, especially if you walk in the store and your dad was like, look, listen now.
Exactly.
Sonny Stitt. I mean, well, I know that you said you played, now you play jazz, but on the other side, there's the song that you recreated. It was People Make the World Go Round, a stylistics tune.
Right.
Is there any reason why you wrote that? You just like the song?
It's a great melody. And the lyrics mean a lot to it, especially in these times.
Well, we're going to feature you on, you're featured on flute on this album, so it's not on this album alone, but I'd love to hear that. I know you have a sweet melody on flute as well, so here's People Make the World Go Round, Ira Wiggins, When Freedom Swings. from his album When Freedom Swings. Dr. Ira Wiggins on People Make the World Go Round. You're listening to 90.7 WNCU, and Dr. Wiggins was on alto flute, and you heard Cyrus Chestnut on keys or piano, Baron Timus on guitar, and Alvester Garnett on drums.
Right.
Wow, that was nice. I heard some changes in the middle part, I guess, when you all were soloing. So you added that?
Yeah, I just wrote a section in there for just to kind of get some variety to the tune and add some surprise to it. Then come back into the main tune as the stylistics did.
Yes, except for I didn't hear your voice at the background. You know the part, but it's okay.
Okay, I'll do that next time.
Next time.
Matter of fact, I'll bring you in on that.
Okay, somebody. No. This is great. That sounded good. Well, I saw. So we have you as a sideman. You have about 15 albums out as a sideman, and this one is your debut album. You said, "Look, I'm letting the world hear me. This is what it's about." You decided to do this when?
I've been planning it for years, but it just didn't come together till about 2012. And because I put a lot of energy and time into the program at Central.
You did, yes.
And so. And my brother Marvin was saying, you need to do your own project. I said, well, I'll get to it. They said the students come first.
Yeah, that is the truth.
So then I finally made it happen, and glad I did. And I'm going to try to put out another one soon.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that one. Being right on that email list.
Okay.
Well, is there any way, I guess, what kind of projects are you working on now?
Well, I'm going to do 2 projects. One, the total album is flutes, alto flute, and the C flute. And the next one is going to be just tenor saxophone and maybe some soprano. So it'll be two separate CDs because I don't want to put both. It'll be too much to put all that information.
Too much. Yeah. Okay. What about 11 songs maybe a piece? I don't know.
Maybe
do you haven't decided?
Somewhere between 9 and 10. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a certain style you want to do? Just straight ahead jazz or?
Mostly, but there'll be. I always like to do some type of composition from back in my coming up years, like with the stylistic, maybe stuff from Earth, Wind and Fire, just to because they had great melodies and great tunes, great compositions. So I think they'll soon become the new standards, the new jazz standards.
Well, it's a great way to learn that foundational theory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So maybe you might have a debut of a Maceo on there too. I know y'all.
Actually, I was listening to some Maceo the other night. It was from the same hometown.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was 16 playing my brother's group, if Maceo was home from James Brown's group, he would come by this club we were playing. And he would start down the hall. He would start playing. And so we would hear him, and we knew that was him. Nobody else had a sound like him.
Ooh.
So he would play, come on stage, play one tune with us, then he'd pack up and leave.
Oh, yeah. Okay. In and out, huh? One of those.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, maybe we'll hear about it in the future if that's a possibility for him to be on your album, if you want him to be.
Kinston was a great place to be at that time, and and my brother Robert Wiggins, he got an audition for James Brown in 1964 over in Raleigh, Memorial Auditorium. It was called at that time, and he made the group. Oh. And he had just gotten married.
Okay.
So his wife said, I don't think so.
What? Well,
yeah. So, but
not my decision.
Yeah. So, but because they were getting ready to go to Norfolk and then go to California. Yeah. It's been about a week. So he talked about that through the rest of his life.
I know he did. Yeah. Some things that you wish you had done. Can't check that one off the bucket list, huh? Right. Oh my goodness. Well, let's hear some more fruits of your labor with the North Carolina Central Jazz Ensemble. Okay. This next song is Skylark, a ballad. So let's hear the interpretation of the Jazz Ensemble. You're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Dr. Ira Wiggins. Welcome back to WNCU's Cares Artist Series at 90.7 WNCU, where you just heard Ira Wiggins on Killer Joe, a Benny Golson composition, and that's off of Ira's album When Freedom Swings. And I'm just having a really good time calling you Ira right now. All due respect, Dr. Wiggins, thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
Oh my goodness! So we're taking all around. You taught educationally, and you've built this really rich program at North Carolina Central University. The jazz program, jazz studies program. Now they have graduate studies, masters, learning. You have a lot of people that have gone out in the field doing great things.
Including yourself.
Thank you. Amin Salim playing with Roy Hargrove. We have Ryan Hanseller playing with Emil Sari, or it's like Amy Sari. There's so many. Yeah. Just so many. Brian Horton, now a doctor, teaching at the school. I mean, you really paved the way and inspired a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what the mission is.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been about me. It's always been about who I can help.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a part of what's really important.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, that's why it took me so long to do my own CD, because I was making sure that all the students were getting 100% of my efforts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but it's really all about just giving them to the students because they need it.
Yes.
And in the environments that we are in educationally throughout the country, not just now but before, there's a certain thing that Central did for me. It gave me an opportunity when I needed somebody that I knew cared to give me the same opportunities to see if I could really have what it took. So I kind of take that lesson from all my great teachers that I had at Central in the Department of Music, and a lot of people in the community that gave you extra time, and they knew it was there. You just had to figure out how to get it out of you. So,
yeah, word to the wise.
Yeah, so that's what I've been trying to do since I've been here. It's been a great ride.
A great ride. Yeah, I just remember those days of tough love. I mean, if you play a major third on the blues scale, it's wrong. I mean, this is about no wrong notes, just wrong resolutions.
Right.
Is that the same?
That's Thad Jones.
Thad Jones. Right, yes. Oh man. Yeah. Well, we're gonna listen to some more of your music and actually some more fruits of your labor with the 2020 inaugural Jack Rudin Jazz Championship that happened in Jazz at Lincoln Center.
Right, back in January, yes.
In January, and I wanted to know, I guess before we get to that, how did you all, I guess, win a seat at that championship? Excuse me.
Well, they chose 10 bands from around the country. And I got an email last year, 2019, around July, and I thought it was a scam at first. I said, why would they invite us with people like North Texas State or Indiana or GR Manhattan? So then I found out it was for real. So then I said, okay, well, we'll take advantage of the opportunity. And I think we got the invitation from what we played in Dallas, Texas 2 years ago. There were some members from the Lincoln Center organization committee there, and they observed us and they invited us. I didn't knew that they were even in the audience. Wow! But I guess that shows you do your best all the time, and just that's all you can do is do your best and try to be 100%. But we were noticed at that point, and so we got invited to be a part of this first inaugural event, and so that was definitely a treasure for the program and for the university, Department of Music.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I hope they invite you all back next year, because what I heard so far, it sounds great. So we're going to listen to this song. This song is entitled Straight Up and Down, and this is composed by
Chick Corea.
Yeah.
And it's arranged by one of the members of the Irby saxophone player from the Lincoln Center Orchestra.
Well, you're in for a treat, everyone. This is 90.7 WNCU, Straight Up and Down. Straight up and down, 90.7 WNCU. That was the North Carolina Central University's jazz ensemble on that Chicoria composition, Burning Rubber. Wow, sounding great. As usual, I'm not surprised. You heard them a part of the inaugural Jack Rudin Jazz Championship, and I'm certain they're going to get invited back next year. We hope. But so it sounds like the big band is your main thing. Like, you want to perfect that big band sound, the hills of Count Basie and Duke Ellington and Thad Jones.
Yeah, it's that's the orchestra for jazz, just like the symphony is the orchestra for classical music. So we teach the individual lessons, small group combos, but in terms of the main orchestra for the jazz idiom, it is the big band. And you learn a lot from playing in a group like that, because you have to learn how to balance yourself with all the other instruments. So there's the component of everybody playing together, then the improvisation where everybody's playing like it's a small group.
Yeah.
So it's really important to get that experience, and it makes you a stronger small group player too.
How do you get them to feel the music?
There's a lot of listening, a lot of talking about interpretation, a lot of attention to details. No stone unturned. I always tell the students, it's either right or wrong. It can't be close. It can't be almost.
Can't be almost.
Yeah, so you can't almost swing, or it can't almost be right. You see the right or wrong.
Well, I almost swung. You didn't dig it? Oh, no.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't? Okay. Yeah, work to do. Work to do, folks. Did you have the students transcribe any of the music, or you just have them read it?
Well, a lot of just listening, interpretation. Chicory has a lot of versions of it. A lot of other musicians have played that tune. So they'll listen to all the different versions, and then listen to the way the Lincoln Center Orchestra played it. And then we put our own spin on it.
Well, how did you coach them, for this particular championship? And I know IEJE, or, International Jazz Education. How did you coach us? I'm asking you that like I didn't know, but I'd love to hear from your perspective.
It's just like I'm preparing for a concert in being Duke, or playing for the Alumni Association. It's the same. Everything has to be right. You can't say, well, we're going to play at Lincoln Center now, so we're going to play it right. You play it right anywhere you are. Yeah. Even in the classroom. So my thing, if it's not working or swinging in the classroom, it's not going to swing automatically once we get on stage. So the energy comes from the rehearsal. You have to rehearse just the same way you perform, with the same energy and the same intent. You got to go for it. And if you miss it, no big deal.
You know what?
The next time.
No big deal, right? Yeah. Because it's music, and you can just come back, meditate on it, and get in the shed.
Right.
Well, you know what? I would like to see the jazz ensemble go on tour for about a year. You think you can make that happen? When everything clears,
Yeah, I don't know if that would happen in an academic setting. We may do something during the summers,
maybe, or
spring break or something. But recruiting is important, and these days, just sending out a CD or promo doesn't have the same effect as being in person. So, we got a lot of interest from playing in the Lincoln Center from around the world. A lot of letters and a lot of students interested in coming here. So we hope that will spur some interest. But you have to get out in front of people, because a lot of the groups up there, according to the students, didn't know where NCCU was, and didn't know what we're all about. But
the little band that could.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hopefully they know more about us now than they did before.
Yeah, I hope so too. And after listening today, you can go to YouTube and you can find this the North Carolina Central Jazz Ensemble on YouTube. I know we have CDs on CD Baby, but there are other sources that from which you can purchase, and then they'll be in the field. So we have concerts coming up. We'll let you know when they are. And we'll just get back to the music. So after the short pause, we'll keep in the tradition of swinging. And we'll take the next song from the album Yesterdays and Forever. And this is the North Carolina Central Jazz Ensemble, directed by Ira Wiggins. And you're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series at 90.7 WNCU. 90.7 WNCU member-supported radio. You're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Ira Wiggins in the station. And it's getting to that time where we're leaving you, but the music is here and it sounds so good. You've been listening to a lot of big band music, but a lot of people, if you're just joining, know that Dr. Wiggins has shaped a program, and he took the wings from other great musicians, and he just said, "Hey, I'm going to put this into the program at North Carolina Central," and that's what he did. And so a lot of great musicians have been shaped in not his image, but just shaped in his educational image of what it means to play jazz at a high level. You heard from the album Central Visions the song, a Thad Jones song entitled Groove Merchant. And Brian Horton, which I actually had a guest in here, now he's Dr. Brian Horton. He was on soprano sax, leading the sax section on that solely and with this section. Terry Mann was on trumpet, Andrew Adair on piano, Derek Brown on Barry sax, and that's of course from the 1995 album. When that was the first album that you all did.
Yeah, that was the first one, yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow, and you say you recorded it on
stage in Ben Duke.
On the stage of Ben Duke, and we got state of the art equipment now. We have a booth. We have some more facilities in which we're using, right. But the growth, 1995. That's actually around the inception of the station here at WNCU.
Yeah, about the same year. Yeah.
Wow, been going strong ever since. Well, it's been a true honor having you in the studio. I appreciate you so much, and thanks for leading the way and continuing to lead the way. It's so nice to take a time out, even during these times, to ask musicians and local musicians, "Hey, who are you? How great are you? Well, let's find out." So, what projects are you working on again? I think I don't know if we discussed that the last hour.
We're doing a flute album.
Mm-hmm. And, that's right.
Alto and soprano. I mean C flute, and then the one with tenor and soprano. So two sets of albums. I had a lot of material that I've been kind of working on for the last 5-6 years, and I just want to document it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and but I think one of the things I want to say is Donna Berry started the program in the late 70s when I was a student myself, and then Stanley Berry, was also here when he helped me out a whole lot. He was probably one of my biggest inspirations at that time. Mm-hmm. And then, but the rest of it is basically on my family. In terms of my sister, my oldest brother, they were the first one to go to college. Then my other two brothers, they were, playing an instrumentalist, and so and right next to my mother and father. So when I got ready to go to college, my sister wanted me to be in science, and because I did have an interest in biology, but music won out. My brother's influence was a little stronger than hers.
You could tell, it's still science,
it's still science in a way, acoustics and all those principles, right? But
I know what you meant.
Yeah, it's just I don't think you choose your profession chooses you. And I think the music chose me because I've been doing it for so long. It was a hobby and a profession at the same time. So I don't really separate the two. Yeah.
Well, it certainly is heard throughout your music. The passion of it. I mean, you could have stopped at one CD, but your pushing and your drive, it shows throughout the music, and just the swing that the students are. They're taking this music seriously, and I'm so happy for that. So continue doing what you do. I have to tell you that, but I know you. I feel like I'm your mentor. Keep on doing what you're doing. But it's a true honor.
I learned from the students also. I mean, I've learned a lot from you and a lot of other students I've taught because everybody brings something to the table. And it's my job to figure out, okay, well, let's take this person from where they are. Let's see if we can inspire them to go further. And then, so when I hear y'all play at certain levels from time to time, I say, oh, man, I hear the growth.
Okay. Yeah. Well, speaking of certain levels, you wanted us to play this. So from the album, Yesterdays and Forever, I happen to be on one of the songs you got. Well, I'm in the big band, but you got it. So
you're playing the last solo.
Playing the last solo. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close out with another big band album. Well, this is the same album, Yesterday and Forever. And Dr. Ira Wiggins is leading this North Carolina Central Jazz Ensemble. It's been a pleasure having you here. And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the next guest for next week. This is WNCU Cares Artist Series, and we're signing out with You Got It, a song that is written by Frank Foster here at member-supported radio, 90.7 WNCU. And also stay listening to 90.7 because DL is to follow at 3 p.m. So you want to hear some of that mainstream jazz coming up in a few moments. Have a good one, you all.